All right. Welcome everyone to Tiki Trail Live, episode 45. Man, I can't believe that. We are actually coming up on our 1 year show. The end of next month, we're going to have our 1 year show. I amazes me. Don't know what we're doing yet. Sam and I've got to work that out, but we're going to do something certainly to commemorate the night. We'll probably have a drink or something like that. I'm sure we'll do something. So tonight's show, before we get to the 1 year, we're talking about tonight. So tonight we said, you know what? It is a little bit early. It's the 9th of February, but doggone it, it's the last show before Valentine's. So we thought, oh, let's make it the Valentine show. I don't know how much Valentine's going to come through here, but some of the artists that we have. There is some stuff that you can get, hopefully, and get that in time for Valentine's. Some of it, quite frankly, if you bought it for your Valentine, I'm sure he or she would be fine getting it a few days late because there's some really cool stuff on here. Great episode tonight. As always, Sam's done a great job. We've got, let's see, kicking us off is Crafted Grog, who's come back and is doing a show with us once again. So glad to have them back. And they're making the Navy Grog for us tonight. Can't wait for that. That's one of my favorite cocktails. I was thinking it would be good to have that on St. Patrick's Day, but you know what? It just sounded too good. Got to have it now. So there we are. So hopefully you had a chance to get all those ingredients, or at least most of them, and we'll talk through any kind of substitutes or anything like that. After that, we have an amazing artist, Wendzel, who is going to be joining us. Some really cool stuff. Love her style. Had a chance to hear a few of her more mainstream songs. I know she's going to be, I'm not sure what she's going to be playing for us tonight, but I know it's going to be some good stuff coming from Wendzel. And our featured guest, who's coming back for more as well. I can't believe it. Although, it had to be like many weeks away. He had to get over the whole trauma from the first time around. But David Lozeau, who is the mastermind behind this little Valentine treat, he is going to be joining us this evening to talk about his art. And, for any of you that saw when I had the Kanaloa Kid mug, and one of the first shots I had with this, I was wearing this really kick-ass pirate shirt. That was a David Lozeau pirate shirt. So just saying, you got to check out his stuff. After that, we're going to have our Makani Marketplace. 3 cool vendors. Robert Steeg, who is better known as, or also known as, East Coast Tiki. We have the art of Michael Clinen, who's going to be joining us. And then last, but definitely not least, DeeJay Clulow. So that's our lineup for tonight. Promises to be a good show. I am going to, probably now's a good time for me to stop talking because you guys don't show up for me. You show up for the drinks and you show up for the cool people that are on the show. So let's get to them. And first up in that is going to be our man of the evening. He's the key guy. Because he makes the cocktails. So how are you doing there, Nick? And Nick from Crafted Grog. Ooh, nice signage. I like that. How are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good. Hey, Jeff, thanks for having me again. But hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Navy Grog screams Valentine's Day, right?
Yes. Hey.
We're not waiting for St. Patrick's Day.
Well, we might have to have it for St. Patrick's Day too. Who knows?
Hey, I'll be waiting for the call in about a month then.
All right. So let's make this bad boy, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay. So tonight we're making a traditional Navy Grog. Mine leans a little more towards the Trader Vic style with the allspice in there. I do like the Dawn the Beachcomber style. I find that Vic's version, or at least my version of Vic's version, is a little more round. So yeah, let's get started here. Navy Grog obviously is rum focused, so you want to find a nice versatile rum blend. We're going to start with a nice light and dry style rum. We like Plantation 3 Stars here, so we're going to do an ounce of that. Any light rum will do. that you have at home. Maybe stay away from Bacardi though, I suggest. But any dry light style rum is good.
Yeah, I was gonna say if somebody's running with Bacardi, they can go ahead and leave the show now.
Please do.
Not to call out Bacardi, but I'm a rum snob, as the song goes.
Hey, that's what when I first started making drinks too. That's what I started with. So, but you learn as you go, right?
Exactly.
Next, we have an ounce of Smith and Cross. Jeff, you got your Smith and Cross?
I do, and this really smelled nice, man. So why did you Smith and Cross?
Well, first off, it's one of my all-time favorite rums, but the traditional Navy grog calls for the funky Jamaican pot still rum. To me, Smith and Cross makes a Navy grog. It just has that unmistakable flavor. It's kind of what the drink called for way back then. I'll probably never order a Navy grog without Smith and Cross. It's Navy strength. It's the rum that stands out in that drink.
Yeah, that is
so we're gonna do a
beautiful rum.
An ounce of that. Jeff, have you tried Smith and Cross before?
Nope, this was the first bottle I've ever had of it.
Oh, dude!
First time I've known that I've tried it, at least.
It's a good one. It's high octane.
Yeah, I noticed.
Full of flavor. It's a good one.
I did notice that.
Yeah.
It's hearty, me boys. It's hearty.
Absolutely. Next is going to be a Demerara style rum. We like El Dorado 8-year. It's rich, it's dark, it's deep, it's smoky, and it really rounds out the rum blend really nice for this drink. So we're going to do an ounce of this.
Okay, now I have a question.
Yes.
Every week I'm buying more and more bottles of rum. My rum collection is insane right now. And when you said El Dorado 8, I said, well, I've already got El Dorado 12. So how better, different? What's the difference between 8 and 12 for this particular?
Well, the 12 year, obviously it's aged a little more. I think when you get to a rum that's aged, past 10 years or so, you can find the 12, the 15. I've learned they're a little bit better for sipping, or maybe like an old fashioned or a stirred cocktail. The 8-year, it's aged just at that right amount of time where it's perfect for mixing for craft cocktails. But obviously the longer something's aged, I think it's meant to be a little more sipping. I know a lot of people use the 12-year in their drinks, which is fine. It just got the 12-year has a little deeper, richer flavor, I think, than the 8-year. If you have the 5-year too, I mean, that's good for mixing, but the 8-year is also, the 8-year and the Smith and Cross actually are two of my favorite rums all time. So yeah, this is why I like this drink so much too.
Makes sense.
So yeah, this drink obviously is rum forward. So you want to find a nice versatile rum blend. I suggest a light, a funky, and a rich. So find what best suits you. Okay, and then the citrus is next. We're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice. Always fresh. And then 3/4 ounce of fresh grapefruit juice. If you're making drinks at home, I would also, obviously, in addition to fresh, I would suggest to strain your citrus also. It just makes for a lot smoother cocktail for the final product. So
I have to ask,
another home bartender.
Did you say that because you saw me pouring my chunky grapefruit juice?
I actually didn't know. it's something that I've learned. It just really makes the cocktail a lot smoother. You don't want that pulp in there and stuff. So yeah.
Literally, as you said it, the seed was going from the bottle into my shot glass.
Well, there you go. Okay. So next, you keeping up with me?
I am. I'm right there.
All
Man.
right. So next we're gonna have a 1/4 ounce of Demerara syrup to give it a nice little bit of richness. This drink is definitely rum forward, so the sweet factor doesn't come through as much, but you do of course need a little bit.
You said 1/4 ounce on the Demerara?
1/4 ounce of Demerara, yes.
All right.
And then next is a 1/4 ounce of honey syrup. Kind of a mix between Don's and Vic's. Don's, of course, is more honey forward. I did a little research on the grog even before Don the Beachcomber came about. And it consisted of, obviously rum and water. I think it said lemon or lime or lemon, and then honey or molasses. So, which is a little different, obviously, from the modern Navy grog. But I wanted to add a little honey in there to give it a little more historical effect to it. And it just has a little more flavor, just as opposed just to the Demerara syrup. So we're gonna do 1/4 of Demerara, 1/4 of honey. And then last but not least is a 1/4 ounce of allspice dram. We like St. Elizabeth's. It just rounds out the Navy grog real well. Allspice is used to, of course, spice up your tiki drinks. People love the cinnamon, the falernum, the allspice. And it doesn't come through as much in the Navy grog, but it's there, and it just rounds out the cocktail really well.
I actually like that allspice dram, and we had, I think this is the 3rd drink that we've made with it over the last year. So I was glad when you had that one in there as well.
3rd, really?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a call for it early on, and then somebody made a drink with it later. And I think that's about it. So.
Wow. Yeah, it's very versatile. When you think of tiki spice, the allspice is kind of the first thing that comes to mind, at least for me. It adds a lot of depth to your drink. I'm gonna grab some ice here real quick.
All right, so Nick, talk to us a little bit about the crafted grog, and
The craft
what you guys are doing. Are you doing events again, or what's happening with you?
Well, just like everyone else, our business has kind of slowed a little bit over the last year, and reasonably so. Of course, you want people to stay home and stay safe, but unfortunately for us, because we don't have the liquor license, because you need the standing location to have that, we're unable to do the cocktails to go, which is what obviously so many other people are doing. So we're trying to replace that with our syrups, which we sell on our website, thecraftedgrog.com, and Etsy also.
Those are some killer syrups.
So that's kind of what we have going on now. But if people are having small, intimate gatherings, please reach out. We're in business, but we're doing what we can to keep it all safe.
Makes sense. So talk to us a little bit about your syrups.
Yeah, everything is natural and authentic. I started mixing around at home a couple of years ago, even before I started the Crafted Grog. And homemade is, I don't want to knock anybody, but just to me, so much better than anything that you can get commercially. Right now we have available orgeat, which again it's simple, it's straightforward, as authentic as it comes. We have a demerara syrup, cinnamon, passion fruit, our coconut cream. Oh boy, it is so good. It's decadent. I won't make it any other way. I won't ever buy a coconut cream anywhere. We really like the product that we're putting out there. And we also have gardenia mix. I don't think that there's really any gardenia mix available on the market, or at least a true gardenia mix. So it's definitely been a popular one of late. A lot of Christmas stocking stuffers for the gardenia mix. So
Man, I got the wrong people stuffing my stocking.
Buy your set. What's that, Jeff?
I said I got the wrong people stuffing my stocking. I didn't get any of that in my stocking.
Yeah, you got to get on our site, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, you've got some amazing syrup. So love your stuff. The passion fruit was awesome. Awesome. Yes, Bamboo Ham, I did get a rock. So you were the one that put that in my stocking. Yeah, fine. Thanks. Yeah, your syrups are awesome. Love your stuff. And I do need to get back out onto your site and get some more of your syrups. That's for sure.
It really makes all the difference in the cocktail. I mean, it's a huge part of why we've gotten such rave reviews on our drinks. People think, it's just a bartending service. Oh, it sounds cool. But, we're making top-notch tiki. Even though we don't have a bar that you can come to, we come straight to you with all this whole setup. We're doing top-notch rums, fresh citrus the day of your event, and of course the syrups. It makes all the difference.
Nice, very nice.
Okay, I'm gonna make this thing right here. Got usually about 12 ounces of crushed ice. We'll do for a standard cocktail.
Well, you got one of those fancy blenders, huh?
What's that?
You've got a fancy blender.
Oh, I got the top-notch Hamilton Beach.
Yeah.
It's my baby.
Us poor people have to do the old shake and freeze our hands.
Hey, if it tastes good, it tastes good, right?
Exactly.
And then we like the open pour.
Oh, all right.
See if I don't overflow my drink here.
That apparently
we're gonna go
super talent is I'm able to always make sure my drink fits. I don't know how it is that happens.
Yeah. You got your fresh mint, Jeff?
Okay, that's where I fell down. But that okay, mint was not on the list that I saw.
Oh, I left off the garnish, didn't I?
I think so.
That's my bad. Well, the standard Navy grog comes with mint. And because it's Valentine's Day, I got a red rock candy stick.
Nice. Very nice.
So I had to incorporate some kind of Valentine's in there.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's like I said, it's we said, hey, Valentine's, let's do something. I don't know what, but we want to do something.
Well, I played my part, so we got this going on.
All right. So I want to see everybody with their drink glasses. So hopefully everyone has had a chance to make this drink or a drink, because this one looks pretty darn good. So I'll get a little photo there. Got everybody going. Awesome. Oh, my bad, David. Sorry. That was poor product placement. That was really bad. Yeah, there we go. Man.
Yeah, so here's a Navy grog. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's definitely on my Mount Rushmore of exotic cocktails. So I hope everybody enjoys theirs.
Yeah, this is awesome. Now you are here in Orange County, correct?
Orange County, yes.
Okay.
We do travel to San Diego and Los Angeles. Not too much further than that, because all our ingredients are fresh, day of, and all that stuff. So, but yeah, Orange County based.
All right. Well, cool, man. That is this looks like a fantastic cocktail. Oh yeah, you guys make me a good bartender. I love that. I'm just following along with you, and this is good. This is really good.
Yeah, and that Smith and Cross really stands out in there.
Yeah, the Smith and Cross and the allspice are two things that
Yes.
I pick up. Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you much. Definitely appreciate it. Crafted Grog. We've got the Shaka code. Shaka code is in the chat. The card will take you out to their site. Go check out the syrups. If you're not here in Orange County and not able to do something, local, the syrups do travel. So go out and do that. Your sweetie will love them for Valentine's. I promise. Get them for Valentine's Day.
Yep. Absolutely.
Man, especially that gardenia one. That sounds good. I'm going to be trying that one for sure.
It's pretty darn good.
All
I
right.
could drink that stuff straight, even though you're not supposed to.
Yeah, that's the thing with those syrups sometimes. It's like if they're too good, I take a little hit of the bottle. It's like, yeah, those are good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I hear you.
All right. Well, thank you again, Nick. Definitely appreciate you coming on, and thanks for the killer cocktail.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
And now let's see if we can find our musical artist for this evening.
Hello.
And there you are, Wendzel.
Hey.
We add you into the spotlight. So how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing really good because I have a whole bunch of really cool people with me on
Oh,
Zoom and a killer cocktail in a killer mug. Life couldn't be better.
that mug is really cool.
Isn't it though? Yeah, this
It's
is
so cool.
one of my favorites. I love this one. Yeah, let's not give David a bigger head than he already has. So Sam had connected with you on Instagram, and I was like, "Who the heck is this?" And I went out, and you got a cool story. Love the music that you're playing. So tell the audience a little bit about you.
Yeah, for sure. So I actually started out as a songwriter and producer working basically in studios in the Bay Area. I come from Orange County though, so kind of cool that there's a lot of Orange County people on here. But I'm a songwriter and record producer, and I usually write songs for other people. But with the way the pandemic's been going, and because it's been really hard to get artists in the studio, and a lot of up and coming artists don't have the funds to put towards their money, towards their music, excuse me. I've been releasing my own music, which has been really fun.
So now, how is it you have brought the ukulele? What brought you to the ukulele, and what made you think to bring it into the genre that you sing in?
It's actually kind of funny. So I didn't play the ukulele until the pandemic started. I started learning in May.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh, wow, I'm obsessed with this. So I'm going to start putting it in pop songs.
Okay, you're one of those people I hate. You actually did something with the pandemic.
I tried.
You know.
I tried because my day job quieted down so much. You have to fill your time some other way, right?
Exactly. So yeah, I love, like I said, I love the story. We've got the Shaka card for you as well, or excuse me, the promo card for you, the Shaka code to get that, and that goes out to your sites, and you've got a bunch of sites to follow.
I do. I try to keep my social presence alive and well. Although YouTube, you were mentioning earlier with the YouTube timestamps, I'm hopeless with YouTube, so it's not just you.
Okay, good. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, here to have, music professional here, probably looking and laughing at me like, what an idiot.
I don't know what I'm doing on YouTube.
That's a new twist that I wanted to add, and it's kind of slowed things down, but
it makes sense. Technology, man.
yeah, exactly. So what do you have for us this evening? I didn't get a chance to ask you before because you have such a broad range of things you can go with a ukulele.
Yeah, so I'm going to be playing 2 original songs that I wrote. One of them I haven't released yet, and it's going to be coming out sometime this year. But it's was written on the ukulele and also recorded on the ukulele, but it's more of a pop song, so it has more typical pop and trap drums, but it's a ukulele song, and it's really fun. The way it's recorded, it's just a fusion of genres, which I really appreciate. And then the second song I'm going to be playing is actually a song I wrote for another artist, but it was my first song I wrote as a professional songwriter. And so it has a sweet place in my heart. And so I wanted to play it for you guys.
Nice. Love it. Thanks for sharing the brand new one. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. This is the first time I've played it for anybody. So we'll see how it goes.
Right. Well,
Okay.
don't worry. We're all drinking. So it'll
Perfect.
be, we all love it.
Perfect. Okay. So this song is called Stupid Little Face. To think you had me smitten, I'm seeing double vision. Oh, I can't catch no sleep. You got me deep in this addiction, but I ain't quitting. Your love should be forbidden, 'cause every time I dream about you and me, it leaves me sickened that I tried so hard to make you love me. Oh, but it's not my job to make you come clean. No, and I hate that you're the only drug that it's still acceptable to take. And I hate that I can try so hard to forgive, but I can't forget your taste. It gets harder to admit it, but I know I can't quit it, 'cause I never could convince myself you're all I needed. And I hate that I'm stupid in love with your stupid little face, yeah. Uh-oh, uh-oh, your stupid little face. Do you see me living? Why is it you I'm missing? Been grinding on my teeth, you got me steeping in decisions, but I ain't forgiving when you don't ask permission. I'm done with all these games, 'cause all this hate's become religion. Yeah, I tried so hard to make you love me. Oh, but it's not my job to make you come clean. No, and I hate that you're the only drug that it's still acceptable to take. And I hate that I can try so hard to forgive, but I can't forget your taste. It gets harder to admit it, but I know I can't quit it, 'cause I never could convince myself you're all I needed. And I hate that I'm stupid in love with your stupid little face, yeah. You're stupid, you're stupid, your stupid little face, yeah. You're stupid, you're stupid, your stupid little face. It gets harder to admit it, but you know I can't live this, no. It gets harder to admit it, but you know I can't live this, no. You know I can't live this, no. And I hate that you're the only drug that it's still acceptable to take. And I hate that I can try so hard to forgive, but I can't forget your taste. It gets harder to admit it, but I know I can't quit it, 'cause I never could convince myself you're all I needed. And I hate that I'm stupid in love with your stupid little face, yeah. Uh-oh, uh-oh, your stupid little face, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, just so you know, this is the Zoom clap, because everybody's
Yeah.
on mute. So if you can't hear them clap.
Oh, that's so sweet. I could see people going like this though. Thank you. Yeah, it's not like a super happy love song, but it does fit the Valentine's vibe. It's just like,
I love it. First, I thought you were singing a song about me when you said it was called Stupid Little Face.
oh no.
But yeah, I see you went in a different direction, so that's
I
good.
did. I would never say about your face. Never.
To your face. Yeah, yeah.
No, about your face. I'm very blunt, but I would never say that about your face because that's not correct.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you. So we have another one now, right?
Yes. So this next one is the first song I wrote as a professional songwriter. I wrote it, gosh, like 5 years ago, I want to say. And it was released in 2018 by an artist named Mariah Belgrad. She has an amazing voice. She's an iHeartRadio Award nominee and she's just exploded on social media. I mean, she's really talented. So I wrote this song for her, but I love it dearly. So I thought I'd play it for you guys. It's kind of like a breakup empowerment anthem. Even though, I mean, I'm happily married, but apparently I just write a lot of songs about breakups.
Oh, another happy Valentine's Day song. Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It's on the theme of love, right? It's just not the happiest love. So this one's called Empty Spaces. Say you love me, no one above me. I know you're not alone when you are not at home. You ain't perfect, I hope she's worth it. I'm not your only one, you'll miss me when I'm gone. And you'll find me in your empty spaces. All this time I've wasted holding on to you. And you'll find me in your empty spaces. No, I'm not behaving, I'm no fool for you. Say sorry, oh don't you worry, I'm not wasting a breath thinking about who's next. Don't try to promise that you'll be honest, you see the time has come, so here's to me, I'm done. And you'll find me in your empty spaces. All this time I've wasted holding on to you. And you'll find me in your empty spaces. No, I'm not behaving, I'm no fool for you. I'm tired of this maze, 'cause I'm no fool for you. You made your empty bed, there's nothing you can do. And you'll find me in your empty spaces. All this time I've wasted holding on to you. And you'll find me in your empty spaces. No, I'm not behaving, I'm no fool for you. And you'll find me in your empty spaces. No, I'm not behaving, I'm no fool for you.
Oh, very nice. That is awesome.
Thank you.
So you're saying that was the first song that you ever wrote?
The first song I wrote as a professional songwriter. I definitely like wrote songs earlier, like when I was like 15, but they were very bad. Very bad.
Well, you came out of the gates professionally very well. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, that is incredible. So we have a bunch of your online stuff where we can hear you. Where else can we get more? Because you're on what platforms?
So I'm on Instagram as Wendzel. I'm on Twitter with my birth name, which is Alyssa Wendzel. And then I'm on Spotify. I'm on like all of the music streaming platforms, including like iTunes, Apple Music, as Wendzel, the name that's on here. Yeah, I'm also on YouTube, but I don't have a big presence because again, don't know how it works. And I'm on Facebook. I think I'm pretty much on everything. I'm on TikTok. Don't know how to use that, but I'm trying my best. And I did see that the tip jar, I think I put the wrong name in. I think my Venmo is actually here, I'll put it. Venmo is at
That's one thing you really want to get. Right. Yeah. You want to make sure.
right. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh, I think I just direct messaged it. See, I'm not very good at technology.
Did you direct message to
Sam.
oh, to Sam? Sam, that's good because Sam can now post it into the.
Okay. Okay.
So you can do that for everyone.
Oh, your girl doesn't really know how to use technology. I'm sorry. I mean, if it's music software, I got you, but
Yeah. Oh well. Hey, everybody's got a talent, and your talent freaking rocks. That is.
oh, thank you.
And talk about there was a shoot. What was the term you had on your fempowerment? Was that the term?
Yes, I use fempowerment. So I write most of my songs, actually all my songs I've written so far have been for women, because I really believe that the female voice is missing from the music industry. Especially as writers, we have so many famous female artists who sing songs that are written by men, which is totally cool. There's nothing wrong with men writing songs, obviously. It's just a lot of times there are certain stories that men don't necessarily have as much experience in. Like, for example, I wrote a song recently. It was originally supposed to be for another artist. It's called Make Up Your Mind. And that was actually my first single I came out with independently as an artist. And it was actually about an abusive relationship I was in. And so it's kind of like about finding your power to make up your mind in a situation like that. And I think that's sort of a situation that mostly women experience, unfortunately. I mean, it's fortunate that more people don't experience, but you know
Right.
what I mean? It's like it's largely a women's issue. And so I tend to write a lot of songs that tend to be more geared towards women and female empowerment and just making people feel like good and happy and confident, because I just feel like that's important, especially with, it's so easy to write like a really sad sappy song, but like writing songs that uplift people or make you laugh, like that's more challenging.
Yeah. So love your stuff. Like I said, I had a chance to go check out your sites and everything. From the sites, I got a good feel for the vibe, and from talking to you, it seems pretty genuine.
Thank you.
You're one of the people I'd love hanging out with. I'm kind of bummed that we all have this distancing thing going on, but
Hey, when this distancing thing is over, we should meet up in Orange County, because that's where my family is. I love Orange County. I'm
yeah,
from San Clemente.
I was gonna say, yeah, San Clemente. I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know why you would ever move from San Clemente to
I
anywhere.
don't either. I don't either.
As somebody who was born and raised in South Bend, Indiana, why the hell did you move away from San
I
Clemente?
know, because I'm crazy. No, my husband is from the Pacific Northwest, so we moved to Seattle
That
after
sounds like his
college.
problem. That's a whole
Huh?
lot of his problem. That's a whole lot of his problem.
I'm just a giving spouse, I guess. Oh,
Nice. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Amazing stuff, amazing artist. Adding you to my playlist because it's some really cool stuff, and I love the fempowerment. I love the positive message. I love all of that. I think you're doing great.
oh, thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Now, what I want is when you are at the Grammys and you accept your award, I want a shout out to Tiki Trail because we knew you when. So
Yes.
yeah, I think we need that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
That'll be on my speech list. If I ever win a Grammy, it'll be Tiki Trail.
You mean
Right
when
there.
you win a Grammy?
Yes, when. I love this positive affirmation.
There you go. So thanks for joining us tonight. Amazing stuff. Love what you're doing. Keep it up. I can't wait to hear more.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. So now we are going to go to our next amazing, talented artist. Not with music, or at least not that I know of. But David, we're going to come to you. David Lozeau, amazing artist. And you are on mute, just so you know. Yeah, you need to unmute yourself. Oh, shoot. Oh, I pissed him off already. He stormed off the set. I can't believe that.
Well, I mean, how do I follow that up? This is like the second time in a row you put way talented people in front of me, and now it's like a big letdown because I'm going to babble on and not play any instruments and no one cares because I can't top that. I paint pictures. Who gives a shit? Like, I can't sing. I can't play instruments. God damn it.
Oh man, you may not be able to top it musically. You got it going on, man.
Oh, I feel inferior now. This thing sucks.
Well, welcome back to the show. We are happy to have you as always. In fact, last time we had you on, I went broke. You know, I had to go to the local Loan Depot and get some money to be able to get some art. And yeah, we have a few pieces of art here in our Tiki bar. Like I said, the shirt and the mug. I mean, dude, you're doing.
They're gateway drugs, man. They're gateway drugs to a wallet problem. That's I am the dealer, I'm the pusher, and I have no morals and will push it all. So welcome.
Love it. And I thought you were one of the perfect guests for a Valentine's show because I didn't realize that this has a love connection to it.
Yes, it was that. Yeah, it was released now 2 years ago through Tiki Farm for Valentine's Day. It's the Amor Eterno mug, so it has a couple on the back of the mug, and it came with a little print of the couple together. And yeah, so you can kind of see it there. So that was all themed for that release. So that exactly, you know, that is a Valentine's Day drink.
Well,
many relationships are started and ended by that mug.
Well, I first encountered this mug at the Polynesian in New York. So
Mm-hmm.
it's the Valentine's Day for me. I like Brian Miller and all, but yeah, no, he's just a good guy. That
was the weirdest thing. All of a sudden, shots of this pirate guy with my mug just started flooding in. And I'm like, what's going on in New York? Why are like 1,000 mugs a day going out to New York? What's happening there? So that was a cool thing. He did a beautiful video, and I mean, he's kooky, but he did a really great presentation of the mug. I was really excited to have them pick that up. It was pretty neat to all of a sudden be shipping mugs to New York every day and being like, what's happening? So it was pretty cool.
Well, and now because you're on here, stuff's gonna be going all over the world because we're global, man. We're global. So
yeah, my Grammy speech is gonna be awesome.
Awesome! I can't wait. I thought you were gonna be Oscar, you know, for free or something like that.
I'm gonna be zero at everything because I'm not gonna get any awards, but okay.
So
the VFW or something like that.
There you go. So for some of those people that may not have heard of you, some of those people that this is the last episode you're on, I can't believe that. Let's talk a little bit about you and what you're doing.
For sure. So I'm a San Diego-based artist. I used to travel and paint and do stuff outside of my house, and now I paint in my jammies all day. So this is kind of for the last year, we've kind of adjusted to not having shows and not doing festivals and demos and all the things we used to do. So I primarily now live stream once or twice a week and paint from the studio. But again, same amount of art is being generated. I'm just not out there, you know, getting to see people as much as I do. So doing the live stream this year has been a great way to kind of bridge that gap and be in touch with people and share the work and such. Like, I mean, I started painting in front of people, doing shows with, you know, 100,000 people a day at these huge festivals. So to paint in my room silently is a little difficult. So that's why I do the live stream and kind of share the art. It's been a fun way to kind of bridge that gap. And I've been just as busy, you know, getting stuff done. So it's been still a fun year with work-wise for sure.
Now, I saw you were working on, while we were mixing drinks and listening to music, you were busy working at the painting behind you. So what do we?
Yes, because timelines do not end, no matter when you're having fun. So this is a huge, I wish I had a Tiki themed piece, but I, on short notice, could not generate a 7-foot painting big enough to show. So this is actually a commission. I'll pull you back a little bit so you kind of see what's going on up there. So this is it's a huge commission for a couple. They from Florida, live in Texas now, and they bought a huge ranch, and they wanted something that kind of symbolizes them to be at the main wall when you walk in. So it has their, see the bottom there, it has their dog here. She's holding the dog there, and just basically them, guns blazing, in the front of the ranch. So it's been really fun. Again, I love capturing. I mean, I just get a bunch of photos from their life and kind of putting together these ideas. And I love the first response from the sketch, and they're like, oh my God, that's us. This is going to, they start to see the vision. So it's and to work this large, I don't get a chance that often. So it's fun to just be this large. Just takes over the whole studio. Nothing else besides this gets done. So it's a fun, immersive experience for the month or two it's being painted.
Yeah, that is freaking incredible. I don't even want to know what the price tag is on that bad boy. That's incredible.
It's worth being in my jammies for.
Yeah. Yesterday I made the comment of, okay, I'm now changing out of my work sweats and getting into my casual evening sweats.
Yeah,
kind of what we've done.
I'm familiar with that. I messed up my quarantine relaxation by getting a new puppy. So like 6 months was like just poop quarantine. So it was kind of like the same mask coverage, but more poop than I thought would be involved. So but again, I love being home. Off the road is, while I'm not used to it after 15 years of being on the road, I have enjoyed kind of resting. I mean, I used to travel internationally a couple times a year, so I miss that the most probably. I haven't got to go anywhere, but again, I love being home and being able to fix things and do things I haven't had time on the road again. So to be home and kind of reappreciate, that time together has been the happy part of quarantine, I guess.
It's funny. I've been reading a lot because I'm like you. I travel a lot for work. I was reading some articles about Delta and United and them talking about, we don't see the business travel coming back. And I'm like, are you nuts? The second I can start going somewhere and experiencing, I mean, that was the great part of my job, being able to interact and engage people around the country or around the world. I can't get back to that again.
Oh yeah, exactly. I have trips lined. I gotta have this. The trips keep falling away as we get closer. I'm like, oh, not ready to travel yet. That trip goes away, but I keep waiting. One of these trips is going to pan out. I'll get to go back. There's places I want to go back to. Some spots in Italy and Spain that I got to go there. I want to go back and just re-experience before I get too old to really, travel freely.
Yeah. No, I think you have a few years for that. But there is a in the chat for you when you hit that stage, or maybe even earlier. Painting with David on PBS. So you can take the
Bob Ross taught me to paint, so I have no problem. Again, I love that idea, and that's what there's a little bit of that when I get to do the live streams. That's how I learned to paint. Watching Bob paint, his voice. That's where first time I saw art being made and realized that's how unique that was. And as kooky as it is, the happy little trees kind of gave me that foundation that I still love. I'll watch people paint all day long. I love watching art be made. Not music, because I hate people who are better than me, but artists and painters and stuff. It's I can watch to see stuff be created. I love that process. Woodworkers, any kind of creativity, to see that done. I'll sit there all day. I love watching that, and I'm envious of everything else. I want to do everything. I want to learn. I have a ukulele over here in the closet for 5 years that I can't play. So it's the way that you're finding those things that you can do it and immersing, but enjoying other people's success for sure.
So I think you can connect with Wendzel to do a paint trade out. She can teach
album cover
ukulele. There you go. I like that.
She does breakup songs. I do dead people. I think it's a mix there. This goes together. I think it goes.
Oh, she could change that song to "Your Stupid Dead Little Face."
Exactly. I think it's better. It sells better. I don't know. I don't want to tell her business, but I feel like it sells better.
There we go. So speaking of dead, what the hell?
Segue.
Why is everybody dead in your paintings?
Exactly. A question I get occasionally. Again, my style really starts with Day of the Dead. I grew up on the East Coast. I moved out to California around 16, 17 years ago now. Was exposed to Day of the Dead. Seeing that celebration and the idea of remembrance and the colors and the pageantry, going to Mexico and visiting these cemeteries and just seeing the having those moments in that day to reflect about your loved ones lost. I was jealous. I grew up on the East Coast where someone passes away and you have a wake and you drink whiskey, you talk about them, but the next day they're kind of, back in the history. have a set day to share stories about the details, what they listened to, what they ate, to have that connection each year to your loved ones. I wished I had that. And I found it so inspiring that it basically became my career path. I was just starting to paint, and that was the exact fuel and fire that I wanted to be there and to be in Mexico and see it celebrated and realize that's what I wanted to portray, which is difficult when it's not your culture. I was in a place that I didn't speak Spanish. I had never, again, on the East Coast, I had never even had a taco until I got out here practically. So it was one of those things where to be exposed, I was starting from square one. So I found it so amazing that, I immersed my life into my house looks like that. We traveled to Mexico all the time, and I wanted to be an ambassador for how amazing that culture was.
Now, do you ever, and I know when I mention this word, a lot of the Tiki people are going to be going, oh, hair on the neck stands up. Do you ever get into a conversation around cultural appropriation?
Cultural appropriation. Before it was cool to say it, I did. And I was very conscious of that from the very start. I mean, when you're with someone else, this culture, it's obvious. I'm as white as there can be. When I go to the cemetery in Mexico, I'm a giant white dude. I stick out. I didn't know how that would be shared by people when I was there, but immediately the response I got from the little gorditas, the little old ladies, they come over to me and they would hug me and tears in their eyes and thank me for what I was doing for their culture. I always made sure that I was protective. I wanted to make sure things were the right way. I didn't want to go the cheap way and just do flower face girls to make money like the tattoo artist art has gotten so watered down. I wanted to be different and be unique and celebrate them and make sure I always gave back and made sure I was doing the right thing. If it ever didn't feel right, I didn't want to be the one doing it. I want to feel like I was the one to open up. Before Coco and before Book of Life, I was the first time people would see skeletons in artwork and they'd be like, what is this? I was the creepy skull guy at every show I went to for 10 years. So I realized I had to be an ambassador before Coco and those kind of things. People didn't know what it was about. So I found myself giving this speech about Day of the Dead in Mexico all the time and became very proud of it, that I was able to share this to people who didn't know what it was and to send them on their path to learn more, so it was always something I kept very close and nothing's more rewarding than having these little old ladies and having other artists, Mexican artists, thank me and kind of validate that I was doing the right thing for them and just kind of being a champion for them, which is very important for me.
Yeah. And cultural, that's my response all the time when I hear somebody go down that path. I said, is it appropriation or appreciation? There's, it depends on how you look at it. And if you're
it's it's a slippery slope either way. It's something you have to constantly, especially when I'm making my living at it, it's something that I have to constantly, I'm never not aware of it. You're right. It's always there. And I love engaging us. Luckily at this point in my career, in the 15 years of being on the road, I've had maybe 2 or 3 negative experiences. And I was talked them all 3 down to where they were hugging me when they left. Let me explain how I got here. Let me explain why it's important to me. If you still feel the same way, I'll respect that, but you need to know how I got here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's great that you do that. So you don't only do dead folks.
I don't.
This is another one of your pieces.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely amazing. So how do you go from dead people to amazing sea life?
It's called Art ADD. I can't focus on anything too long. I love to bounce around. I paint all these different subjects. I do animals, rhinos and giraffes and butterflies and some of the. I love nautical stuff. There's always mermaids and all kinds of tentacled creatures coming. So for me, I'm so excited to paint by bouncing around. I got a huge Western piece. Right after that, there's a huge nautical tall ship piece that I'm going to do. And I'm super excited to get to that. After that, there's a couple more hummingbird. Each one has a little story. And because I immerse myself in the piece by doing research and I kind of, am obsessed with that subject matter as I'm working on. Again, I love when the gun here, it isn't just chosen. It's one that I love. And what I find interesting from a technical point of view and things like that, I love to be able to put that inside the painting. So each one is this story in this book I get to read. So I just love bouncing to each subject. World War II one day, then again, a nautical piece the next day. It keeps me excited to paint. I don't get painter's block. I don't get burned out. I just get bored. I get frustrated with the amount of time I have left in my life. I have so many paintings I want to get done that I'm worried I won't get to finish them all. But I'm going to try and slam as many as I can get down on canvas just in case something happens.
Now, I want to know what book you read for the garter holster. to learn about the.
Well, they're not all public books. Some of them are on low. But this is, it's all by design. It's seeing these things in Westworld, obviously, it puts Western in the front of people's mind, but traveling to Arizona for 15 years doing shows and going to Old Town Tucson and going to Tombstone and seeing that kind of stuff, that's how it gets in my head. And once those things gets in my head, it ends up in the art. The goldfinches are in my art because I have a goldfinch feeder outside my window. The horses, I go to a ranch to take pictures and be around them. I like to immerse myself in these subjects. And again, if it's military, a lot of the World War II stuff is I hire reenactors and I go hang out with them and I take pictures so I can get it right. Because I want to make sure no matter what subject I do, I know that the woman who might have this exact derringer on a garter belt is going to come by. And if that isn't right, she'll tell me. So I want to make sure that that person comes by who does the thing that I'm painting is like, oh, you captured everything, whether it be military, whether it be nautical, all those things, they're important to somebody. I want to make them important to me so I can do best by it. I guess it goes back to the explaining Day of the Dead and just make sure you're always carrying the torch, because whatever you're doing, this couple exists. They want to dress like this. I want to capture them. So when they see this is exactly what they imagine in their head. And it's their propaganda poster for their relationship. I want it to be what they dream of themselves and see themselves as.
Absolutely. So I'm hearing authenticity, and
Mm-hmm.
It really, it's funny because then I start thinking, oh, this seems to be the theme for the night, because the authenticity of the cocktail and the syrups that Nick was able to produce, and Wendzel, the authenticity of bringing her story into this beautiful music, and you taking the authenticity of facts and bringing them into the art to create art that's real, not just an appropriated image of what's going on. So that's awesome. That's really incredible.
And it's a real challenge, especially again, I grew up in the Tiki tattoo culture. When I came to Southern California, I was doing hot rod and Tiki shows. That's all my first art for the first 7 or 8 years was just all Tiki and kind of tattoo style stuff until I was and kind of started to do the Mexican Day of the Dead stuff before it was really being sought after by people. So but I cut my teeth on Tiki, and to see that, I know that scene and I know how repetitive it can get, and I found myself, it was sucking the life out of the Tiki stuff I wanted to paint because so much was being done. Great stuff being done, but a lot of derivative stuff, a lot of the same things. I mean, how many shrunken heads can I paint? It became that way where it's like, how do I make myself stand out? And I've always been one who kind of was, I don't paint flower faced girls, skulls like that, because that's just being done so much. So let them do that. Great for them. I want to do something different that hasn't been seen. I want my style to be, no matter what I paint, you to know it's mine. Like the line work, that's what I pride myself on, and trying to find subjects to paint that haven't had a light shine on them sometimes, doing things that, the nautical mythology, some of those stories to me that I think deserve a better audience. That's what excites me to paint. Some of the samurai stuff, things that I find tremendous excitement about and interest. And I want to kind of, again, show the world in a proper way. Look at this culture. Let me show you some of these items that I found amazing.
Well, I think for the first time ever, I saw a painting that to me perfectly summed up the Tiki community, the whole thing about Tiki. And that is your painting of, I want to say it was the Castaways, or is it the Lost Castaways?
Oh, geez. the Valentine's Day one, the little the car.
Yeah. I mean, you've got the Tiki mug in there, so you've got the cocktails going on. I see the rum barrel. I see the octopus tentacle coming out of one area. I mean, you've pulled all the different pieces of Tiki and put it into this this deserted island. I mean, you kind of pull it all in there. That was amazing.
And that's how I love to do Tiki now. It's evolved for me now, where I used to do the single character kind of stuff because I was starting in the pinstripe and tattoo world. So it was like, you did one shrunken head, but now I like telling full stories. Again, the more things I can cram in there, the more details, the more little throwbacks, the little call outs, the things someone will find out later and go, oh, look how cool. I never saw that before, to find little pieces. I love that. It's the kind of, whereas Waldo was a worn out term, but that kind of, Tiki hunt, searching around and kind of hide and seek Tiki is kind of how I like to do it. Find little bits and pieces so that piece always stays energetic to you. You're always looking for something you might have missed 5 years after it's been hanging on your wall.
Yeah, your stuff is absolutely freaking incredible.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Taking out a third mortgage on the house to go buy some more.
I need new velvet pajamas, so let's get on that.
There we go. Nice. I was gonna say, not that it's expensive. It's just I want to buy. You make so many cool things. Yeah, we've got a ton of stuff in the house. of your art. So really appreciate what you bring to the table. Absolutely.
Thank you guys.
Freaking incredible. And we have the promo card for David in the chat. So make sure to download that. It'll take you out to his site. Go to davidlozeau.com. I mean, it's an amazing site. The first time
and if you use Tiki 15, it'll save you 15% for this podcast.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You got it.
The first time on your site, dude, everybody talks about the wormholes. Your site is filled with wormholes. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Wow, look at this. All the animals. I'm checking out that. Oh my God, there's pirates. Now I'm checking out pirates. I mean, you have, there's a ton of stuff.
But that's how my brain is, like all these little pieces of stuff crammed in a pile. So it's literally, when you see those 50 different subject matters, it's literally how my head works all day long, which can be a little loud, but that's why, being in my room alone helps a little bit.
Well, I would say prolific is you have a lot there, and it's all high quality, amazing stuff that is perfect for
Thank you, man.
Bar. And you have some really cool Valentine's offers out there as well. So
and there's a lot of cute stuff out there. I mean, that's like my hidden talent is cute lovey-dovey crap. So it's like I'm the best at it. She writes sad songs. I make cute lovey crap. I don't know how it works, but that's how we channel it.
I love how you do it with cute lovey stuff with skeletons. That's amazing.
They let you do things you couldn't do other way. I mean, I can do almost anything with, as long as they're cute skeletons, you can do almost anything. I've had them, I did a funny commission piece once, and the guy, he said, I just want pandas. He's like, okay. I'm like, so I made a panda. There's two skeletons. One skeleton is cut off the panda's head and he's wearing it on his head. And the other one's wearing a panda pants with suspenders because they're cute. He was like, oh, it's so amazing, so adorable. I was like, yeah, exactly. There's no limits.
Wow, that is incredible. I've never heard of anybody stretching the limit of panda cuteness.
Yeah, I don't share that story much.
Now I want to see that art. I want to see that, man.
Exactly. Next podcast, I'll make sure I have that slide ready.
Okay, well, we're going to have you on next week then.
Done. I'll be here, sitting in front of this thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Same here. I'll be here. Well, thank you so much, man. I love having you on. As I said, you have some great stuff. You're top notch.
I appreciate it, man. And thanks for having me. I love being here. It's fun. I always have to go after talented people. So if you get someone crappy ahead of me one time, just at least once, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, well, we'll try. I'll try.
Yeah, work on that.
We got to talk to Sam about that. Get somebody less of a lead in for David.
Just get a dumpster. 5 minutes of staring at a dumpster so I look better. Just do me something.
There we go. Well, if you could make cocktails, I'd have you up first. So yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, they look like my art, just random. I can't even do that. I can't even find the stuff he listed. Never mind make cocktails.
Well, yeah, I know. That's why I said I love High Times Liquors in Costa Mesa. It's amazing. Anytime I know, that's really odd or different, I just know to go there. And
my bar had like grapefruit and a bag of raisins. This is all I could get from that list. I have nothing else. So that's what I got.
I think you're halfway to a Canadian grog.
Scurvy.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you very much, man. Appreciate you coming on. As always, love your stuff.
You got it, man. See you again soon.
All right. So now we're going to go to what we call the Makani Marketplace. Makani means air or wind, or depending on whether you're using Google or native Hawaiian speakers, it can mean any of those things. But we like it because it's kind of where we're at these days. We can't do the real in-person stuff. We've got to do the over-the-air stuff. So Makani Marketplace, let's go first up. And I'm seeing them right here. So I'm going to have to go to East Coast Tiki. So if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself there, ECT. Yeah, there you go. Welcome to the show, man.
Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Love your stuff as well. So I was excited to see some of the things that you're doing, and I'm kind of seeing the vibe that comes through in your paintings and in your clothing this evening. You did that self-portrait. It's kind of reminding me of that self-portrait right now.
Yeah, it's funny. After I put that out, there was a few people that said that was dead on.
Yeah, yeah. So I think you can claim the Mr. Rogers of Tiki. I think you ought to take
Yeah.
that. So talk to us a little bit about what it is that you're doing. Not everybody's proud through your Instagram and other stuff like I have.
No, definitely not. I got a very small following right now, but hopefully we can boost that up over time. You know, the world kind of took a turn. I've been trained as an artist. I went to art school, but I never took it anywhere. And you know, I just went in my direction, working 9 to 5, weekends, whatever it was. And then I'd carve out a little time, make something for myself here and there. And then when the world took a turn and I didn't have a job anymore, it gave me a lot of extra time to do these little projects that were bouncing around in my head. And the more of them that I did, my wife just tapped me on the shoulder and said, you know, you need to share this with other people and let other people see what you're doing, because we love them so much. I think other people are going to want this too. And you need to start opening up and sharing, and at least let other people see what you've been doing. And you know, I will say that, you know, I got a very good response early on. That I've only really been on Instagram for about 6 months now, and we're up to about 250 followers. And you know, like you've been saying, there's no shows or anything to go to. And I'm out here, feel like on my little island on the East Coast, so I'm not even, you know, in the heart of the scene. But you know, I've been following the scene for years because this has always been my thing. But yeah, so this is where we're at right now. Is that now I'm making some stuff. We're putting some stuff up. Still, you know, I'll get stuck in my own little project and, you know, do a little something for myself, and then I'll try to balance it out by doing a few things that I can put out on Etsy.
So do you have things you can show us this evening?
Yeah. So you know, one of the first things that I really got inspired by, you know, the things that you don't see too often. You know, I love the Disney culture of Tiki and what they did with Tiki. And one of the things that really inspired me was this old vintage Tahitian terrace menu. And you don't really see too many people delving into that, you know, that very blocky art, you know, like a Shag, a Mary Blair, you know, it's always drawn to me. So, you know, seeing that vintage menu, and, you know, everybody's done everything in the Tiki room, I think, you know, over and over again. And not that I don't buy it almost every time I see it too, but you know, it's been done. So I wanted to start working with some things that hadn't been done in my own take on it. So, you know, we got this guy here. He's from that original Tahitian terrace menu. You know, and one of the other things that I started thinking about was, you know, Jungle Cruise. That, you know, it's been done, but you know, there really isn't a lot. So I started, you know, I've been really into doing this on board. You know, a little bit of like a live treated edge here, make it a little bit more something different than just on a canvas, on a square piece of board. And when I started, you know, treating this one, wrecking it up, roughing it up a little bit, it would be really cool if I put the red stripe on the bottom with the white, so it would almost look like a plank that came off of one of those original Jungle Cruise ships. So I started with the idea of converting that kind of collage that the Tahitian Terrace menu was, and kind of replacing it with elements that were from that Jungle Cruise. So from that, I broke it down into some smaller pieces, because that original that I had done of the Tahitian Terrace menu, when I did the whole size, it's a 6-foot long monster. The first one of those that I had shipped out was $150 to ship out there to the West Coast by you guys. So I realized I got to work a little smaller, because that's just a lot to be shipping on.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then we got my own kind of stuff too, that I've done a few masks. You know, again, keeping in that simple, you know, very blocky graphic type style. You know, and these are pretty decent size. These are about 2 feet by about a foot or so. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. That's what I got. Then we got this. Also been doing some carving. This is something that I haven't posted out there yet. So I had done this large post for my house. I had this piece of wall that was messed up, and I was thinking that I could just sheetrock it and fix it, or I can do this really cool post. And this idea of the sun, I needed something for the top of it, and I was trying to figure out what kind of motif I could do that really wasn't, you know, done to death. And I thought about this sun. I put this sun on there. It got a lot of good reaction. Everybody wanted to know where that was on Etsy. I'm like, unfortunately, it's nailed to my wall. It's part of the house now. So I had done this small relief carving that was kind of like a test. I took one of the Hula Girls from the Tisha Terrace painting that I did, and I took this sun. I kind of put them together, thinking like the old Coco Joe's wall plaques that were done in the lava stone. And the Tiki Land Trading snapped that up in an instant as soon as I posted it. So then I realized, let me work a little bit smaller. Let's focus on the sun that I got some good reaction on. I'm gonna do a little experimenting, and I gotta, fuel the creativity and do something I haven't done. I'm gonna try to resin cast these, and maybe mass produce a little, get a good run on them, so I can make a nice little cheap little thing that I can put out there that's got that style to it. That's not going to be too expensive for me to produce. I can produce a lot of them, and we can get the message out there, get more people to, have some of my art in their house.
Well, I was a little worried when you said your wife was saying, "Oh, you need to share this with the world," because usually that means get this shit out of my house. You really have the art talent, so this is amazing.
The first one that I did for the Jungle Cruise, I had done the elephant in the bathing pool, and with some skulls on some spears. And as I'm doing it, I'm thinking this is for Etsy. This is I'm somebody's gonna buy this and somebody's gonna snap it up. And I was about 90% done with it. And she said, "Where is this going?" And I said, "It's going on Etsy." And she goes, No, in our house, where's it going? This one can't leave. You're gonna have to do another one if you want to sell this.
Nice.
So I'm like, all right, I got to buy some more wood, and I'll do a few more, and we'll make this worthwhile. We'll put that out there, and we'll hang the other one up on the wall.
Very nice. So the question I have to ask, have you ever worked at Disney? Have you drawn, designed, painted anything for Disney?
My major in college was computer animation, but I never took it anywhere. So no, I haven't worked anywhere professionally using my talent. That until 6 months ago, I really hadn't even lifted a pencil for years. That, I've done, again, Shag's been a big influence. I first saw some of his pieces when he did, I think it was the 35th anniversary piece for the Tiki Room. And since then, I've just kind of loved his piece. I've done some murals in my house and some things here and there that kind of copied that style. Or, I pretty much ripped him off and took one of his pieces and just plastered it on my wall because, I couldn't afford the price tag on it. So I figured I could do it myself. And, in my old house, I had one whole room that I dissected that 35th anniversary print. And I painted the wall in the purple and the bamboo paneling like he had on the ceiling in there. And, I had birds hanging here and there that I had painted on the walls. So, I had done it, but never really lifted a pencil to do my own thing until about 6 months ago, because these ideas were just starting to bang around in my head. And again, I didn't have the money to buy these things from here and there. So I figured I can make what I'm seeing, what I want for my house myself. And now I had the time.
Well, that bird you showed very first, that to me, I thought that was a Disney piece. I honestly thought that was a Disney piece.
Thank you.
That's great quality, and I can see that they're a huge influence on you. That was amazing. I mean, everything you've shown is amazing. That's really cool. So take us through your process of how you determine, because you've shown painting on wood, you've shown using plaster. Take us through the process of, and you talked about doing this the fountain out back. I mean, how do you determine this is what I'm going to do? What does it appear in your head? And
yeah, pretty much that. The good thing versus the bad thing here is that a lot of the stuff that I had put out on Instagram early on, particularly those masks that I had carved, this is an idea that I had in my head for almost 5 years. And it's been bouncing around. Maybe 2-3 years ago, I bought the wood and I started, roughing some things out on the wood. And then I left it, went back to it, back and forth. And every time I went back to it, my original idea was I wanted something, not even in wood. I was thinking I was going to build this mask out of foam core and just layer these pieces on in foam core. And then I said, you know what? No, I'm going to one up that. I'm going to do it in wood, and I'm going to layer pieces of wood. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to one up that. I'm actually going to layer and carve, and then I'm going to painted it. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to distress paint it. And then I said, you know what? With that, I'm going to rough it up even after I distress paint it. And then I'm going to slap some stain on top of that, and we're going to age it up. So some of those early pieces have had the benefit of just, bouncing around in my head for years. as I'm looking at things now, trying to keep myself busy with new things, the other day I had posted a digital illustration that I did of the pre-show for the Tiki Room. And it was just one of those things, kind of like the Jungle Cruise, thinking about, what can I do that's going to satisfy me creatively, but I want to do something that hasn't been done to death either. That, again, there's been a few things out there that I've seen that people have done Jungle Cruise, but it's not like, I think everybody that has done something in the Tiki field has probably taken on the inside of the Tiki Room at one time or another. And, eventually I'll probably do it just to satisfy my own creativity. But, right now, trying to get my name out there and see who I am, I wanted to do some things that were different. So, the Jungle Cruise hadn't been done to death, and I figured I can do it even in something more of a unique way that I haven't seen before. And then when I did this pre-show for the Tiki Room, I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody that did that, really stick like, almost like a mantis type of a looking Tiki that's in that pre-show waterfall, and the two toucans that are on the top of his head. And I'm like, I think I can do something a little fun with that. And it's something that most people haven't seen that piece reproduced numerous times.
Well, you my friend, I hate you. What's your day job? You said you just started this. I know you have the training, but you were doing your day job and now you've moved to this. So what was the day job? What is the day?
The day job was retail. That, when I graduated college, I had put out my reel to a few different studios, and, here and there I got called back, but, really for the most part, everybody wanted me to, move out to the West Coast and go to Cal Arts for a few years. And I just didn't have the funds to go to Cal Arts. So the place that I was working retail to pay for college had actually told me that they had a position open as a buyer. And I'm like, well, I can still use that creative look, and it was in furniture and, put together different colors and different styles. And I'm like, that's creative. I can do that. I can sink my teeth into that. And then unfortunately, one thing led to another. And now I'm just been a basic retail manager, but I've been working in furniture. So I get that interior design type thing. And, I know how to fix furniture now too. And that was satisfying some creativity. So I would, splice pieces of wood together, grind down pieces of wood, glue stuff together, building, creating. It filled a certain need, but it just wasn't, that full creativity that I would have wanted.
Well, like I said, just like Wendzel, I hate you too, because you decided at this whole lockdown, you bettered yourself. You've launched a career. This is some amazing art.
I hope so. I hope so, because in the end, I don't want to be, I don't want to be locked into that retail life for the rest of my life. That this has been fun. This has been creative. And, I think I feel just all around better when I'm doing this stuff. And I miss that. And I got to say, hearing David talk before, and, since I haven't had this type of creative community to be a part of, to bounce ideas around on since I was in college, and, you can see how gray this is. So it's been a few years.
Well, you have more than David does. So that's your.
No, you can't see from the back. From the back, it's, I'm not too far from going the whole thing like David is, and nothing but respect. Oh, David, no, I'm sorry. It's one of the reasons why I started this. So if I ever had to, shave the rest of this off, it wouldn't look too weird.
No, I would say definitely follow David's lead. He is amazing on the merchandising of the art, because I think with what you're doing, the style that you have, you've got a really, it's not going to be a side gig for long, man. You're going to be
appreciate that. Thanks.
Really cool stuff. So thank you very much. Love having you on. And damn it, now
thanks for having me. Thanks for finding me.
now I got to take out the mortgage on the house to afford the art from tonight. Yeah, it's funny. I always talk about people ask about, oh, is there cost to come on the show, or what I get out of it? It's like, no, I'm on the show, I'm doing the show, and I'm going broke doing the show, because one, I'm buying all the booze every week, and two, I'm buying all
that's ridiculous. That I was reading that list, and I'm like we were saying earlier, it makes me realize how inferior my bar is when I see some of this stuff. And
oh, I tell you what, that's the first time I've had Smith and Cross, at least that I know of. I've consciously had it, and that was really good. It was amazing rum. So if you can find it, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, the next few pieces I sell, I'll stock up and I'll make that grog because that sounded really good. So
Make a grog piece and feature Smith and Cross in it and try and get that. There you go. Do a little co-branding. Do a little.
there we go.
Work your magic. That's what you need to do.
Gotta get
Bring
those
your
brand
retail.
partnerships.
Exactly. That's how this works. Well, awesome, man. I definitely appreciate you coming on. Love your stuff. We've got the promo card for you. The promo code. I keep going. Man, this was a really good drink tonight. I'm just saying. We have the promo code for you for your card in the Shaka code in the chat. Going out to your stuff. You can see your Instagram, see all the things that you're doing. So definitely go out and follow East Coast Tiki. Again, another artist where you're going to say, man, I knew that guy when he was just starting out. He's got like millions of followers. I knew him when he had 250 followers. So yeah, awesome stuff, man. Appreciate you coming on. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, so now we have the art of Michael, and I'm saying Clinen, or is it Clinen? You're yelling at me? Oh, there's Michael. I see you now. Let me bring you up, dude. I mutilate. I'm sorry, I mutilate names sometimes. I'm still trying to figure out how to say Sarah, but that's a whole nother story. So how do I pronounce your name?
Their last name it's Kleinman.
Oh, Kleinman. Well, that was easy enough.
Yeah, it's fairly simple.
I've been beaten about the head of it's not as simple as it looks all this time. It's like, okay, how am I pronouncing it? So
No, people always add extra syllables. It's fine.
And I see it spelled wrong, and I probably misspelled it myself. So, hey, welcome, Michael Clinen. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Thanks. It's great to be here. Enjoying the show.
So, are you going to tell us another story that you were like an accountant until March of 2020, and then you discovered this amazing talent, and you bring this all about again?
Funny you say that. No. No, I studied scenic design in college. Then a bunch of us left college, went to Orlando to become Imagineers in our heads. A couple of us got that far, not myself. I landed at the Nickelodeon art department for a short time. Was always into rock and roll and enjoyed live music. So I took a side gig working with a local venue down there, which turned into a full-time gig. So I've been in rock and roll most of this time, last 20 years. Then started doing the art again only a couple years ago. Just as a side hustle, just like the rock and roll was the side hustle from the Nickelodeon art. Now the art's becoming the primary. So not accounting, no, but a different type of career.
Yeah, you were literally rocking in your career. So
True.
let's talk about your art. So let's show off what you're doing. Talk to us about it.
Actually, like a lot of the Tiki artists, my art is influenced by the different Imagineers. Mary Blair, I love her colors. Raleigh Crump, I love his just crazy way of looking at stuff.
Raleigh's amazing, yeah.
That's one guy I'd love to meet. And Peter Max, he's again the bright colors, the thick paint, and that's kind of where my style came from, the thick paint. After I would surf during the day, if I had a really good time, or sometimes if I had a bad day too, I'd come home, take out the brush and get an old board or anything laying around, piece of cardboard, and throw some paint onto that. And as the years went on, the paint kept getting thicker and thicker, like an impasto style, to the point now where they're actually jumping off of the plywood or off of the canvases. I really bringing it into 3D. The way I've found to do that is with recycling things I find on the beach, like the chunks of bamboo, the plywood that the pieces are mounted to, and the pieces themselves are actually old EPS styrofoam A lot of times you find the coolers on the beach. I'll take those, break them down, laminate them together. And then I come up with different custom blends of hard coat, like the Tiki Bob here. So you can see it's about 2 inches thick. It's kind of pops right off. It's fun stuff.
Yeah. Now, and so that is recycled styrofoam. Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
that one was an old cooler that I found on the beach. A lot of them are. I also do these 3D waves out of old Clark foam blanks from the insides of surfboards. I'll rip the fiberglass off, and you can still see it on the back. That's the EPS foam. But then I carve the styrofoam in the curl. Carve the styrofoam. Then I do a hard coat on top of that where I can sculpt and get some details in the wave itself.
Now, how thick is that?
These are about 4 inches.
Gosh, yeah, that's like, wow.
It's massive. They're great to sit on your desk at work, take your mind off of where you are.
Yeah. Wow, that is incredible.
Oh, thanks.
So what prompted you to take trash and turn it into art? I mean, I love the fact that you're doing that because you're helping to clean up the environment and you're making the world beautiful twice over, right? I mean, you're helping take the stuff away and you're turning it into beautiful art.
Hey, you forgot about my hauntingly good looks too. So it's
Well,
three ways.
Then David's going to harass me that I wasn't talking about his good looks. I had to be careful.
Yes, surfing, I mean, by its very nature is a terrible sport for the environment, ironically, because most surfers are dirty granola eating hippies like myself. But between the neoprene wetsuits, the fiberglass boards, now you got the epoxy boards, and it's everything about it seemed hypocritical. So so to be able to pick up something on the beach that I find on the way home or while I'm there, it just made sense.
Yeah, I'm always amazed because I'll see artists taking palm fronds that obviously have fallen from the palm trees and they turn them into these really cool tikis. And I'm driving along or I'm in a parking lot and I'll see one of these palm fronds, part of it just laying there on the ground. It's like,
right.
Yeah, somebody can really turn that into art. Not me, but somebody can really do something cool with that. And you're one of those people. That's amazing.
That's funny. I do have a giant Rubbermaid bin filled with those palm fronds, and I've not yet figured out something that I actually like that I've made out of them. So if I figure something out, I'll send you one.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I was at, I've seen a few of those that artists do some really cool stuff with. All right, so I have to ask, is the tiki over your right shoulder, is that you as well?
No, that's an interesting story. My wife works, she was running a theater in Atlantic City, and she was contacted by a collector who said, I have a bunch of things in a storage unit that you might be interested for your theater. And she was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Sounds kind of loony at first. Then she was told that it was all tiki items. So she asked me if I wanted to go take a look. And in my mind, I'm thinking it's all Party City goofy tiki. And I really didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
But, we got there, they opened the storage unit and it was all oceanic arts. So we inherited this massive amount of oceanic art sculptures and tikis. And we have our dining room. Once our daughters moved out a couple of years ago, we threw away the dining room table and the hutch and all the old people stuff. And we've flipped our dining room now into a tiki lounge with all of these pieces.
Wow.
Okay, and so my wife and I really like to learn about the things that we have. So she contacted the guys over at Oceanic, and they were actually able to tell her where the pieces came from and who had originally ordered them.
Yeah.
They were in the, Kona Kai in Philadelphia, in the old Marriott. And there was a lamp. One of the lamp we have hanging is from the old Hawaiian cottage that used to be in Cherry Hill. It was
That was
really
fun.
neat find. It was a score.
That's
Yeah, I
really
was gonna
cool.
say, I hate you in so many ways now.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
But because you have that find, and your wife lets you turn the dining room into a shrine of all that stuff. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Absolutely. We even had, her grandfather had the bow of a 1936 Chris Craft boat that he turned into a bar in his basement.
Oh my gosh, you're
So
kidding.
we inherited that, and then I turned it into the bow of a Jungle Cruise boat. So we have a Jungle Cruise boat crashing into our dining room.
All right, so I'm getting on the next plane tomorrow morning, and I'm going to
Oh,
be there
please.
tomorrow night. And yeah,
Yes.
that sounds incredible. All right, so let's get back to your art because that's what we're selling.
Yeah.
Dang, man, that's awesome. So the piece behind you, I love that, the piranhas. That is amazing.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's again inspired by the old Jungle Cruise when they had the piranha section that was
Right.
removed.
Yep.
Kind of expanded on that a little bit. And
Did they
That was
remove the piranhas?
in Florida, they did.
Okay, because last time I was at Disneyland, they still had the piranhas going.
That was in 19. No, seems like it's been closed for so long.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, we've got had annual passes, and so we were there quite a bit, and I was there just a year ago, and yeah, I love seeing the piranhas because they're so fake, it's hysterical, but
Right.
it all fits the theme. I like it. Okay, so the tiki behind you, the moai, giving a big thumbs up. I like that.
Oh yeah, that was I combined. That's actually one of the few paintings I have that is on an actual canvas. I love the palm trees. I love the sunset, sunrises. So I brought sculpted a moai again. That's out of EPS foam pieces that were found laminated together and hard coated. With that one, it's more of a spackly type of finish. It's interesting. Unlike the piranhas and the tiki bob, it's not as glossy. It has a nice stone finish to
Right.
it. I was able to get good stuff.
That is awesome. I'm surprised since with your surfing heritage, you wouldn't have gone with a shaka.
Yeah, you mentioned cultural appropriation. That's the one thing I can't stand is the shaka. It's just so stereotyped. It's so overdone. But yeah, it's shakas are cool.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, because we do this shaka thing for a tiki. But it's not from the. I've had people go, "Oh, the surfers do that." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not talking about surfers. This is
No.
for tiki people." So no, it is entirely different. But it's a greeting, and so that's why we built it into the Tiki Comer app, because when you're out at the bar, that's how you connect and exchange cards. So yeah, that's where for us, that's why we paid that kind of homage to the shaka. But I totally get you because yeah, I had pushback from some of my team. They're like, "Oh, come on, it's surfer." It's like, no. Go read up.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Well, no, this is amazing. I love your stuff. I love the fact you're doing it on recycled and reclaiming stuff that was cast aside and turning it into beautiful art. That is awesome.
Oh, thank you. It's fun stuff. And yeah, I hope to keep doing it. People keep buying it, I'll keep making it.
Yeah. I need to find less talented artists because I'm going broke doing this damn show. All you guys are doing great stuff. So, I appreciate it, and thanks for coming on. Like I said, we've got your shaka code in the chat, going out to all your stuff, all your sites, and check out your Instagram. Best way to buy from you is what?
It's through the website, mkleinman.com, that you have linked. Yeah.
All right, there we go. So yeah, we've got that in the chat as well. Somebody
curious
in last February. Yes, they were. They were there when I was there in January of 2020. Man, damn you, Nick! This is too good of a drink. So yeah, I think let's see. Yeah, and East Coast Tiki is, well, yeah, you guys are both there in Florida, so that makes a whole.
Actually, we're both. I thought East Coast. Aren't you in Jersey?
Oh, Jersey. Okay, I thought.
Yeah. All Jersey in the house today.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so you East Coasters, yeah. So that's really good. He loves that. And let's see. All right, cool. So thanks for joining us, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Hope to see you again soon.
Absolutely. I'm sure you're going to see me on the store here very shortly.
Fantastic.
All right. So let's go find our next victim. Let's see. Somebody just came in the door, so I had to let them in. Our final victim for this evening, DeeJay Clulow is in the house.
My goodness, I made it.
Yes, I know. Isn't it terrible? I mean, I ramble so much, I can't help it.
Well, I feel like I've learned a lot from you.
From me, yeah, right. How not to run a show. From all the guests, how to really do cool and talented things.
Well, it's very impressive. Everybody's what they're able to do. Yeah. I apologize because I'm a Navy grog in.
You and me both. You hear me already stumbling over my words. So, yeah.
But Jeff, unfortunately, I brought my mint.
I know. Okay, and that's it for the show tonight. Thank you very much. Yes, I didn't have the mint. I erred. I faux pawed. That was my bad.
I feel like a mint is a very important ingredient to Navy grog, zombies, all the important tiki drinks. Come on, Jeff. You know better than that.
It is because as you go to take that drink, you get that hint of mint.
Yes, exactly.
At the stage for you. Yeah.
Take it out. You get it from the grocery store. You slap it. Get on your drink.
Yeah.
Then.
Anyway. So let's talk about your art.
Sure. I have to say though, I the amazing artists that followed me. Wow, great.
I think they preceded you.
What was that?
I think they preceded you.
Yeah, sure, whatever. But anyways, amazing work. I feel small compared to them. East Coast Tiki and everybody else, like, wow, great stuff.
Oh yeah, now who's just being humble? Come on, let's talk about your art. You've got some amazing stuff, man.
Well, yeah, but it's not as easy to buy my stuff.
So what do we got? What are you doing? Tell us about DeeJay Clulow.
I'm very lucky in my career to what everybody has talked about. I have worked for Disney for most of my adult life. I worked for Disney since 2006, and I was a Jungle Cruise skipper. I worked at the Haunted Mansion and everything else. And now I am very, very, very blessed that I work at Lucasfilm. I work in a galaxy far, far away for Star Wars. I'm a senior marketing person for them.
Very nice. So how in the world did that happen? Dude, you've led like a charmed life. You've gone from Disney to Lucas.
Well, I mean, it was easier when Disney bought Lucas. It was a smooth transition then.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, I can see how that might happen. So yeah, you got.
No, it was funny. I was working at Disney in 2012 and I was in my office when Bob Iger and George Lucas did the signing, and they said, we bought Lucasfilm, and I walked into my leader's office and I said, I would like to transfer, please.
Nice.
That's not really how it worked though, but it was many years later. But yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I grew up in a Disney family. My mom worked for Disney her whole life, and I did a Disney college program in a long time ago. And my dream was to be a Jungle Cruise skipper. I love comedy, and that was really my dream. And I got lucky to.
So you had a low bar for the comedy.
Yeah, I didn't really want to do many funny things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, those skippers are awesome. I love it. Man, being a Disney skipper is incredible.
Well, you know what? Like I grew up thinking that being a Jungle Cruise skipper was a high bar of comedy, and when I finally got that role, I was like, I made it. And then I realized that most people don't laugh at your boats, no matter what.
Hey, I do. I think they're funny.
Thank
But then again, I'm kind of, mired in dad humor. So
you. I did it for 4 years.
wow.
I was a trainer at the Jungle Cruise. I trained a lot of Jungle Cruise skippers, and I also was a what we call a coordinator, or a lead, and I ran the Jungle Cruise attraction for a very long time.
Nice.
Yeah,
Damn.
and I got a real job.
You still don't have a real job. You work for Lucasfilms. Come on, man. That's awesome.
I do work for Lucasfilm. No, honestly, like my dream was to be a Jungle Cruise skipper. And I know that's really crazy to say, but as somebody who grew up at Disneyland and grew up at Disney World, driving a boat around the rivers of the world, I don't know how to explain it. It was something special.
Well,
And yeah, it really was something magical. And yeah. Oh.
yeah, that I love that. I love that ride. It's been around for so long and it's held up all these years. It's a great ride. So talk to us a little bit about the art that you're doing now, and yeah, talk to us about that.
Well, I mean, if you follow me on social media, for me right now, it's very strange because for a long time I was trying to do art and trying to live a professional career. And what I mean by that was I was going to a lot of conventions and I was setting up a table and I was selling a lot of paintings and drawings and art while working a career within Disney. And I never thought those two things could really coincide. And I did very well. But then eventually I end up where I am today, where I don't know. Like I'm a marketing person. Like I have a professional career in marketing, and I got my job with Lucasfilm through that. And then one day, even though I've spent many years trying to be an artist, I got an email being like, "Hey, do you want to do Wonderground art?" I was like, wait, what? You want me to do art for Wonderground Gallery at Disneyland?" And they're like, yeah, sell your artwork here. I was like, oh, it's the only thing I've been trying to do for years, but sure, I'll do that thing I've wanted. And it's kind of moved on past that.
Now, do you have some stuff you can show us from that? Because your Instagram feed is full of a lot of cool, amazing art.
Well, thank you for that. So I will say, like, I don't really have anything on me. I mean, I'm a very big Tiki nerd, and I have a lot of things behind me in my Tiki bar, Amanda Fischel, and then all these amazing concept art pieces from Mark Davis's Submarine Voyage to the Tahitian Terrace, to what East Coast Tiki was talking about, to concept arts from the Jungle Cruise. These are things that inspired me growing up. And to be honest with you, I don't really have anything on me because unfortunately I work for Disney. So I can't really do a lot of Etsy stuff right now, but I was doing that for a bit.
Yeah, because I mean, the stuff you're seeing, I'm looking at your Instagram feed, and I was looking at it the other night. I mean, there's some pretty amazing stuff that you're. How long have you been at that, doing that kind of thing?
Well, I grew up doing art, and I grew up drawing and just being inspired by that. And a lot of stuff recently is stuff that I've come to deal with the current situation, where the quarantine has really been hard on all of us. Dealing with depression and crippling claustrophobia. And I feel like the best thing that any of us could ever do is just kind of work on what we can be. you know, work on the drawings, work on the art. And that's what I've been trying to do recently, where I take a step back and with my job with Lucasfilm, I am a senior marketing person, but Star Wars is a scary place where there's a lot of different opinions. And sometimes you got to take a step back and go, well, what can I do to create positivity in my life? You know, where you take your art and you're making different things. And so that's what I've been doing on my Instagram feed, where I've been trying to do a different piece of art every single day to try to push myself to a new perspective, try a different style, try to be a different person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the scary thing about art, though. Like, you're always pushing yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, just looking at your feed, it's you're doing a lot of really good stuff. So, and so somebody would have to contact you to say, hey, I'm looking for some art that is like this. And then can they buy from you? Since it sounds like you don't have an Etsy store set up.
Well, I did. So I had an Etsy store for many years. Unfortunately, because I work for Disney. I still work for Disney. You know, a lot of stuff I was doing on Etsy was not. It's kind of questionable for what I was doing within the company. But you know, if you want to buy my art, I'm very blessed to have a contract with Wonderground Gallery within Disney Parks, and you can. The most recent thing I have going on right now is within at Walt Disney World and Disneyland as a Jungle Cruise piece. And other things I have is under NDA, unfortunately.
Oh man. Now, okay, so tell me about what's going on with the Wonderground at Disneyland, because they took out that amazing art store in downtown Disney and put in a flippin' Star Wars outpost thing or something or another. And that was great art that was in there.
Well, Jeff, that's a little weird for me because I work for Star Wars.
Yeah, I know. That's why I figured you can tell me. It's like, why did it
the exciting news is that the Star Wars store is moving to the old location of where the Rainforest Cafe used to be.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
And Wonderground Gallery, and I'm excited to announce, is coming back.
Yes. Yes. See, I asked the right person. See, I asked the right question of the right person.
So the Wonderground Gallery is coming back to its same location. To everything can be. The Star Wars Galaxy's Edge stuff is going to be located at the Rainforest Cafe location. So, but
there's going to be a lot of stuff there then.
Oh yeah.
Dang. Whew. When's that going to happen? Do we have a date?
I do not have a date.
Dang it.
I'm dealing with a lot of Star Wars stuff right now, but I don't know what's going on with those dates. But I will say that there's going to be some fun and Star Wars stuff located at the Rainforest Cafe location, but Wonderground Gallery is coming back at downtown Disney.
All right. Well, I was going to say, have some more of the Navy grog there, and then tell us what's the date.
I do not know the date.
I know.
Listen, I'm dealing with a lot of important Star Wars stuff. I don't know the specific dates on which of these things will be opening, but I will imagine it will be soon.
Well, for those of us here in California, in Southern California, the good news yesterday is Disney, the California Adventure, is going to be opening for some foodstuffs. A little bit of Disney opening up, just a touch. So that I'm looking forward to that. Finally.
Yeah, fun stuff coming along. But yeah, I mean, Wonderground Gallery is coming back. It's not going anywhere.
Well, it's coming back because it did go somewhere, but I'm glad that it's coming back. So that's a really good thing. And glad to hear about this with the Star Wars outpost, that's going to be really cool. And more importantly, that we could reach out to you and say, hey, I'd love to have some art. Would this work? And it sounds like...
No, I apologize that I don't have amazing art to throw out there. But everyone who came before me was doing amazing things like East Coast Tiki, like, wow. So many good things. And it's very inspiring as somebody who was a Jungle Cruise skipper And I lived in Adventureland for 4 years. And it's exciting to see people who really kind of just jumped ahead and grabbed onto these amazing things that were inspiring with Disney parks.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and so thank you for coming on. Definitely appreciate that. Happy to have you on, and we've got your info in the chat. We've got the Shaka code. We've got a card for you to go out and make sure to follow your Instagram, see all the cool things that you're doing.
Yeah, I apologize. I don't have anything for sale right now.
Well, we got to fix that, man. You got to fix that.
Well, it's a little tricky thing since I work for Disney. I can't really sell a lot of those things.
Well, yeah, don't make Disney stuff, but there's some talent there, man. Go Tiki.
Listen, we own everything. It's hard to.
Well, yeah.
I will say every artist that came before me, phenomenal. They're doing such great work. Just follow them, buy all their stuff, please.
Yes, absolutely. Agree with you wholeheartedly. Well, thank you so much, DeeJay. Love having you on. Appreciate the stuff you're doing. Glad to hear Wonderland is coming back to Downtown Disney. That's like the best news I've heard all day. Sorry, Wendzel and David. That's like really exciting to me. So love that because that's one of my favorite stores of all time. So glad it's coming back.
Well, you never know. You might see Michael, you might see Ecos Tiki, you might see David. They might be part of that soon.
I think so. Everybody reach out to DeeJay Clulow. He can make sure to get you into the Wonderland store. I heard that.
Listen, like I'm trying to get my art in there, all right? I did one Jungle Cruise piece. God knows what else is going to come in there.
Oh, and there is no music in that store. So I think we need to have a CD. Wendzel, right there. We're there. It will be the Tiki Trail display within the Wonderland store. That's my goal. Well, that and Wendzel thanking Tiki Trail when on the Grammy stage.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen.
No power in any of this stuff, but
all right, man. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Love having you on. Thanks for being here. Love your vibe and love that shirt too. That's a way cool shirt. A Star Wars.
No, yeah, I'm totally sponsoring my Lucasfilm vibes of Shag Star Wars.
Yeah.
That was a really cool thing that we got to do with him.
Now, if Sven Kirsten was here, he would like laser beam eyeballs and nuke you because Star Wars is not Tiki.
No. But Sven is a cool guy. He wouldn't.
Oh, Sven is very cool. I love Sven. But
I've known Sven for quite some time, and I'm sure he'd be fine. Especially something that Josh did.
Well, it's funny because when I was talking to him about Tiki Comer, I was deathly afraid to go up and say, hey, we're doing this thing called Tiki Comer, because I was waiting for him to say, oh, apps aren't Tiki, and just like rail into it. But he was like, oh yeah, that's really good. That I like that. I love how it expands Tiki, blah, blah, blah. And he looks at me and goes, Star Wars, that's not Tiki.
I mean, he's not particularly wrong. But I mean, the most important thing is to kind of spread the culture.
Exactly.
It's inclusion, it's diversity, whatever we can do.
Oh, I'm right there. We've had many conversations on this show around that very topic. Yeah, it's whatever you make it and bring it in. So thank you again. And we look forward to seeing what's coming from you next, man.
Well, all right, cool. Thanks, guys.
All right. So now we need to find Sam, Ms. Sam. Let me, I need to get really better at this whole production thing. Sam, the nice part is in post, I can cut all this stuff out. Nobody would ever know. They'd be like, damn, Jeff, you got a really Loctite show. I'll be like, yeah, of course I do. Right, Sam? It's Loctite.
Oh yeah, Emmy nominated. Yes.
Emmy. Well, I guess yeah. We just have to go for Emmy. So yeah. So awesome show. Thanks for putting that together. A great crew of people tonight. Authenticity seemed to be the theme this week. You know, last week we talked about different themes coming in. Authenticity was that word that kept coming through me as each of the artists that I'm talking to tonight. So awesome. Who we got next week?
Have you noticed? Perfect.
Sam says, yes, that's exactly what I was going for.
So we have another great lineup in store next Tuesday on February 16th. We're gonna have Shane from Foursquare come, and he's gonna have a very special cocktail for us. I don't have the details quite yet, but I'll get it out to you soon. We're gonna have Chief of the OC returning as our musical guest. It's been a very long time, so we're really excited to have him back. And his mom is doing well. So
I was just going to ask, yeah, how his mom is doing, because that's why we haven't had him on in a while.
yeah, she's doing better day by day. So she's in my prayers, but she's doing good. Better.
Good.
Yes. And then I'm excited to announce Medusa Marina from the Rec Bar is going to be joining us. So that's going to be extra exciting. It'll be her very first time on the Tiki Trail.
Man, I tell you what, that woman is, I don't know the word. Dynamo is too light of a word. She is all go all the time, does so many different things, such talent. And I remember the first time I got to interview her, I was just blown away at all that she did. And one of my questions I had to ask is, what don't you do? And she started laughing and said, cooking. And then she proceeded to tell me how she's doing all this stuff in cooking. I'm like, really? Even the stuff you don't do, you do. So yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, the first time I saw her, she was performing at Dawn the Beachcomber, and she was eating fire while dancing on broken plates. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I've also had the pleasure to see her underwater at the Rec Bar. So she's just the coolest person ever. She's the definition of cool.
Oh, she is. And the first time I met her, I was at the Maikai. I was there for the 60th anniversary. And it was funny because I'm taking pictures and doing my thing, the camera nerd that I am, right? And all of a sudden, I didn't know who she was. This woman walks up to me, stunningly gorgeous, and starts talking to me about my camera. And I'm like, yeah. It's like, wait, what? And yeah, she's just the nicest person, down to earth, and just so freaking talented. Love Medusa Marina. She's awesome. I can never say her name right, but apparently that's my thing on this show. I'm like the Norm Crosby of Tiki. You young people, go look that up. It'll be funny. You'll get it later. So yeah. So I think that'll be a good show. And who else do we have in addition to Medusa Marina?
We have Tony Canepa and then and a few more people. So I will get those details out to you guys soon.
Awesome. Well, again, kudos on another great show. Finding such amazing talent. Love the folks that we had on tonight. So that's the show for tonight. That's the upfront show. And then we always do the after hours part. I was going to say, no, we're all clothed, but there's been a time or two when somebody wasn't necessarily all clothed, but that's not the part of what we're doing after hours. We just hang out and chat. So hang around for that. But for now, we're going to close out this show because I need a wrap up to put this all onto YouTube. And then I can go into that next part. See, I'm learning. It's only taken me, 45 shows to do this, but I got it down. I'm a quick learner, I tell you what. All right. Thank you all. Love having you guys here. Next week's going to be a great show again. Number 46. We're inching closer and closer to 52. Can you believe it? A year we've been through this pandemic. Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you. We'll see you all next Tuesday.